First of all, I got introduced to raw chocolate when I lived at the Tree of Life Foundation, and I was big into a raw food vegan diet and still am. And somebody handed me 3 beans from Ecuador, and it was just amazing. I ate them and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I felt a sense of euphoria. And then that put me on I started making different recipes, and now 6 or 7 years later we have a little chocolate factory, and we have a good distribution, and we have connections with farmers that we bring stuff in from Ecuador, and I'll go all into that in a minute. To begin with, cacao is a bean from a tree that is, that's where all chocolate comes from. So that's pretty cool. A lot of people don't know that it's actually, chocolate grows on trees. So with that bean, all chocolate is produced, and we started working with folks down in Ecuador to help them produce what we like and what we consider to be a raw product. And to start with, who we're affecting and working with is probably at this point around 5,000 people. Some 400 or 500 families or more that are growing, and then they bring all that to a central point, to a cooperative, and then from there it goes on down the line of processing. Cacao with the bean, there's generally in mass manufactured chocolate, there's a fermentation process. And during that fermentation process, in the first day or so, there is a germination process where that bean actually sprouts. And for folks in raw food world, know that a sprouted bean or a nut or a seed is a lot easier to digest than an unsprouted one. So what we're working with is we're germinating our cacao, and then we're stopping the fermentation process before the temperatures get too high to actually kill the germ. So we have a sprouted cacao bean, which this is kind of unusual. Nobody has that. Then once they're sprouted, they get washed, dried at lower temperatures. We're keeping everything as best we can under 120. In most cases, it's really under 100 that they're processed at. Then it's dried, and it goes on through the process of shelling and grinding and such like that into different types of products: nibs, paste, butter, and powder. Cacao fat it scorches at 140 degrees. So we would know if we had a real scorched flavor in our butter if it were scorched, so we don't have that. Typically in mass manufacturing, they don't care if it scorches, then they deodorize the scorchness out of it, and most of the butter gets sent off to the cosmetic industry anyway.